Welcome to Leave It on the Court. My name is Corey Randall.
My name is Mustafa.
And in today's topic, this is like always, a heated subject of comparing players, seeing who's the best player of all time, in NBA, of course. And these two players playing in two totally different eras. We got MJ and we got LeBron. So, in your opinion, Mustafa, who do you have as the better player?
To me, it really ain't too much debate behind it. Some people try to make some kind of debate or some. I don't know. I think it's maybe some people. I'm not gonna say people have something against Michael Jordan, but Bill Laimbeer brought this up actually. So just so you guys know, why we're bringing this up. Bill Laimbeer, he brought it up on. It was brought up on First Take, and Bill Laimbeer said his choice was LeBron James because early in MJ's career, he wasn't a good enough passer. He had to learn how to share the game, and he was just too easy to guard for them. So that's why he had LeBron. He said LeBron's the best ever. His physical makeup and whatever. For me, my choice is MJ. It's pretty cut and dry. Like it's MJ. And it's not just because of the rings. It's just his dominance. Like his presence on the court. His impact. People feared Michael Jordan. I would never look to worship anybody. But people kind of in some ways worship him.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to look at accolades, numbers, production on the court, and just everything in general, he was just better, And he figured it out. He figured out how to. Once he figured out how to impact his team, he never went left. LeBron. One of the biggest things with him is people say he's a great passer, but I don't believe he impacts the game outside of individual stats. I think he's someone he's chasing stats. He's chasing numbers in some ways. People didn't recognize it until later on, but it's really LeBron is just it's about him at the end of the day. He wants to win, but he wants it to kind of be about him.
Mm-hmm.
No knock against him, nothing personal against him, but just that's just the way he sees it. But and on top of that, MJ. Throughout most of his career, he's been a stout defender. LeBron picked and choose years. All right, I got this year and that year, and then I'm good. People say, "Oh, he has a workload. He's getting older and all that." But all right, so when MJ was playing, none of this was an issue. Nobody was saying this. MJ always averaged a lot of numbers, over 30 minutes a game, being the best player. He got a lot of minutes, and he still managed to do it year after year after year after year. He's won the endless NBA All First Team Defensive Player of the Year. Like, well, what is there to argue? Like, the proof is in the pudding. So I don't know what your take is on that, but it's pretty cut and dry for me.
Man. I love and I dislike this topic only because for me it's one-sided, and it's obviously one-sided. Obvious, man. It's funny because when you think of liking a player, you think of talking about a player, you have a lot of people who, I've argued with people that try to tell me MJ is not better than this player, not better than Kobe or not better than LeBron because this person grew up watching this player in this era, blah, 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 blah. So for Michael Jordan's, championship wins, we both were very young, but we were around when he won his second three-peat, since that was 96 to 98, and MJ. He's not even the reason why I don't even like to compare people to MJ. I honestly believe in my heart that MJ is way up here and everybody else is here. That's how big of a gap I feel like it is, because He's never lost in the finals. He has 2 three-peats. You know, he has 6 Finals MVPs. He has 5 regular season MVPs. He has a Defensive Player of the Year. You know, he's a 9-time All Defensive First Team player. He's led the league in steals like 3 times. Like, this guy could do everything and anything. I watched film on this guy, you know, different final series against the Lakers, whoever it was. And overall, statistically, he's not even that great of a three-point shooter as far as the average. I guess in his era, it's not too bad, but like compared to now, it's like his three-point percentage is kind of terrible. Yeah, he's shooting like Draymond Green type numbers, but like I feel like he just wasn't that good of a three-point shooter in his era because he didn't really need to do it. Like, he had other guys that could shoot, and he could kill you closer to the basket, which is going to require less energy, so why not dominate you down there? And, you know, going off of Bill Laimbeer's comment, bro, is like, Bill Laimbeer, Isaiah Thomas, they're just mad. They're mad because they used to beat up on Jordan when Jordan first came in the league, was a young guy. He was still giving them buckets, though. They just weren't winning. Yeah. But they're mad because Jordan got bigger, got stronger, got better, and at that point, they basically figured it out. They basically were abusing a potential monster, and that's what he grew up to be, and it was over for them at that point. And, you know, he has like 10 scoring titles. I think from a statistical standpoint, I understand what people say when they say LeBron's the best player of all time from a statistical standpoint because he's like top 10 in points, rebounds, and assists. That's fine. That's cute. You know, there's individual accolades. But also what made MJ great, MJ, you know, whenever they've asked MJ the best player of all time, he says, you know, that would be wrong for me to state that because I'm disrespecting all the stars before me. And you know, a lot of these other players, they don't know how to be humble, go out, just be the best player they can be, and just let other people analyze and have that opinion. And, you know, LeBron came out on The Shop, on his, you know, his show, stating that, oh, you know, I feel like I was the best player of all time after, you know, I came back and won in Cleveland. And it's like, bro, you've lost in the finals several times. You know, you against the Mavericks, you disappeared. You know, like in 2011, and I have respect for LeBron because LeBron's, you know, probably arguably like the second best player of all time to me. But he has a lot of holes in his game and holes in just his demeanor as a person, a player, and a leader of a team that MJ I feel like didn't lack.
Yeah. And another thing with LeBron, man, throughout his career, this guy needed an arsenal to win. Like, he always needed an arsenal. I need this guy. I need this guy. Like, you might as well just grab the whole Olympic team and just say, hey, let's go out there and go do it. Like, he just always needed an arsenal. Like, and this is no knock to him. He's probably one of the greatest players, top 5, obviously, to ever play. But, and you know, we can always argue this, but it's like, dude, man, it's like, I don't think MJ or a Kobe, they would need that kind of stuff. Like, he needs 3 or 4 All-Stars on his team for him to win it. Even with that, he's a headache to play with, you know, according to a lot of people. You know, obviously superstars come with their own bundle, you know, their own package. But, you know, for me, it's like, I don't know how that's in a debate, man. Just like you said, MJ is head and shoulders over everyone. He just could do everything. And he set the standard for a lot of guys. So it's like, you would have to set a new standard. You really would have to. I mean, one could say, oh, LeBron's a way better passer. I don't know. We're pulling hairs at that point, you know, but if we're going to speak about between the two who's the best player ever, it would be Michael Jordan. Without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely. And to piggyback off of what you're saying about passer, I think LeBron, I won't say LeBron's necessarily a better passer than MJ. I think since they are two players of two different positions and two different roles, I think that's where Pippen came into fold to help with the facilitating because nobody could guard MJ. So it's like, we're not going to sit here having you having to, launch a bunch of passes to people when we know everybody that guards you is a mismatch. That's another thing to point out with Bill Laimbeer talking about MJ learned how to trust his teammates, blah, blah, blah. MJ from the get-go, bro, was getting a good amount of assists for like his entire career. It's just that he didn't have the personnel. And also, when he came in the draft, they didn't have Pippen right then and there anyway. He was kind of on his own little island. And, I just feel like MJ to be able to lead the league in scoring almost your whole career each season and to be, at any given time also the best defensive player on the court is like, to me, that's insane. That's insane to have that energy and output to do that each and every night, and it obviously showed with how successful he was.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But I will say for LeBron though, when people say, LeBron did like need an arsenal or whatever, he did. I mean, he did go in the 07 finals, like kind of pretty much by himself when they got swept by the Spurs. But I feel like the Cavs didn't really ever supply him enough with enough players earlier on, and even Kobe was about to leave the Lakers at one point when they weren't bringing in help after Shaq was gone. But I still think LeBron does try to, when you try to go out and team up with these guys like a lot of players are doing, like Jordan never did that. You didn't see Jordan going to go join the Celtics when he was losing to them, the Bulls when he was losing. I mean, not the Bulls, sorry, the Pistons when he was losing to them. Like, he kind of just said, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna come busting on your door.
Yeah, I agree, man. In defense of that, like, guys obviously need talent. You're not gonna go to the finals with one guy. It's not happening. Or you can,
Right.
but you're not gonna win a championship with one guy.
True.
So I mean, I feel like you need people, but for me, it's just always, and I think even Kyrie adopted that kind of belief and mindset. Oh, I need this guy. You got Kevin Durant. You got yourself. You got other players on your team. You're like, oh, we still need some more guys. As in who? But I guess that's just the mindset they adopted. That's how they felt they were able to win. LeBron obviously won his first chip playing alongside D Wade, Chris Bosh. It was not until then he won a chip, and then when he did win in Cleveland, he won with Kyrie and Kevin Love. So I mean, however you want to put it, but if that's the way you go out winning, how are you going to continuously compare that guy with MJ?
That's what I say too.
How are you going to compare that? Because it's you won, but it's how you won.
Yep.
How did you win? What did it take you to win? And MJ obviously he had the pleasure of playing with Scottie Pippen, but after that point it was even. It was pretty even. Even Magic Johnson played with more talent than the Bulls. Bulls had at the time. He had James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He had a Byron Scott, who was a major X Factor player, somebody you wanted on your team. Play with good players, So I guess now it's a new day and age where teaming up is more prominent, but don't. It's just like the same thing. Like with, I hate to bring up another analogy, but like when they say, saying you're the greatest rapper of all time, and you don't write your own
lyrics. Yeah.
What are you talking about? But everybody's entitled to their opinion, so I don't know if you got another take on that.
And well, just to say a couple other things to what you said, another thing with how you won is also the fact that Jordan didn't have any losses. How did you lose as well? Like, where did you just have one finals loss where you lost to like some crazy dynasty that Jordan never faced, or were you losing multiple times? Were you losing to some teams that were technically a subpar team compared to the team that you had? Like when they lost to Mavericks, I was like, for me, that was a no-no. Like that shouldn't happen. Granted, it was their first year, but they were coasting that whole year. Um, but yeah, everybody, everybody has their own take, on the situation. Today's era is a little different. I know, like, I can understand certain players teaming up now because they see other players teaming up, and now it's going to be that much harder. So I can understand from that regard. But yeah, a lot of players, to me, in today's age, kind of are like a little bit afraid. They want to just dominate the league and make things easy. Like they don't have the same mindset of challenge that like guys like MJ had.
Yeah, in some ways, I kind of blame organizations because they're not molding some of these guys to win. A
Mm-hmm.
lot, and this is like another conversation we pretty much had, I think, in another episode, like where guys would put up such great numbers, but it's like they can't seem to win on their team. It's because like there's no like they don't have that outer impact on the players that they're playing with outside of the numbers that they putting up every night. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so it's like you kind of got to get the balance of both, and obviously you need talent, but you got to get that down too. It's important.
Very, very, very true. But let us know what you guys think about this topic. Let us know your feedback, your opinion. Please like and subscribe. Very much appreciated. Thank you to all the new subscribers that we've been getting, the new views, the thumbs up, and all that. We're just trying to keep getting better each and every day. And I don't know if you got something else.
Yeah, stay safe, guys. Stay at home. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one.
Deuces.